We are back on Taking Care of Business on Current Radio, News Talk, 1180, 1230 KGEO, 1410 KERI, and now in Albuquerque, New Mexico on 1000 KKIM. Bill, we're definitely going to have you back. I think you and I and Clay would be three peas in a pod. So,
thank you very much.
I don't know if that's a good thing for you or not, but
I'm thrilled. Listen, I'll roll around there and snuggle right up. It'll be beautiful.
You got to be, well, we'll leave that one alone.
Yeah,
this is California.
I hear you. Oh, yeah.
Anyways, talking about campaign mode, I love the fact that, and the media's giving Obama a pass on this, they're delaying aspects of the health care bill till 2014, which just conveniently happens to be until after the election. What do you think about that little geriatrics they did there?
Well, I think the whole system is geared to be played, right? I mean, if I could, let's look back to the first election. So $600 million went into creating a box of ties. That's Obama. Nothing more than a brand, right? Mm-hmm. And it continues to go on with billions of dollars being used largely through media to give the stupid, ignorant, uneducated voting population of America their opinion. Now, I could spend $1 billion, and you know what? I'll create a brand, too. I'll create a thing of Pledge or Lysol or something. But it's causing people to roll into the store, which is now the voting booth, and to pull the lever for that consumer brand. Now, the same goes on in the lobbyist community where, billions are spent annually to influence the outcome of laws in the favor, of course, those with money. Now, judicial appointments are being influenced externally by the media using money. Now, the media clearly is the most powerful weapon in the 21st century. The liberal progressives own the majority of it. And frankly, if you look at money being that influential over all three branches of our government, that's an oligarchy. Forget about democracy and representative republic. Hey, you know what? That's ruled by the few, the rich, and the powerful. I think people feel like they're throwing rocks at the sun. And you know what? I think they are. It's terrible.
Yeah, that's a pretty
profound.
The whole
thing is gamed.
Yeah, it's a pretty profound statement, but I tend to agree with that. The media is in his pocket. Is there any way? I mean, the Republicans tend to shoot themselves in the foot, anyways. You said it in this article. The Republican stance, again, horribly articulated and miserably marketed, is the right plan. So, what can the Republican Party or conservatives do, considering the fact that the media is in the pocket of the Obama camp?
Well, here's what we can do. I'm a private citizen, and my partner brought 5 million people into his last two organizations. So, Bakersfield, wake up, because we're bringing it. We're bringing the country and Christian entertainers and very inspirational people together to rally around making conservatism cool, right? Making the conservative message right. I mean, they paint Christians as evangelical to radicalize Christianity when, in fact, 100 million people go to church. The majority of Americans believe in fiscal responsibility, but the liberals are so much better at marketing and technologically. They crushed the conservatives. I'm meeting with a whole bunch of the powers to be over the next 2 weeks because we are dead set. If they want to use the media to influence the outcome and to push our head against the wall, well, I'll come back and I'll fight with a baseball bat. I'm ready to go. Put me in the schoolyard. You want to bully me? I will fight. And my partners are ready to fight, and we put a lot of money personally behind this. We're not kidding around. You have to fight fire with fire. You've got to fight a brand with a brand. Mm-hmm. You've got to articulate and market the message the right way, or you'll lose perpetually.
Yeah, no question about it, and that's what they're setting us up for. You mentioned a good word there. You mentioned the word bully. I'm thinking about the bully Chicago politics that these guys are using, and they're getting away with it. And I think once Obama is gone, I think a lot of this stuff that's been going on behind the scenes is going to come out, and it's going to portray a different picture of the presidency that he has than is being portrayed today. Do you see the bully politics, the Chicago-style politics going on?
Absolutely, but here's the thing. You see, we are educated, and we know what's going on in, politics and, finance and everything else. The majority of Americans aren't. So when we say Chicago bully politics, that's dirty, nasty, pool, right? Put it in perspective. That's what it is. It's playing dirty pool. Now, in politics, yeah, they're smashing us in the face and punching our teeth out on the schoolyard, and we're sitting there saying, well, we've got to turn the other cheek, and meanwhile, they're gang beating us. Well, guess what? You know what? I'm not going to stand for it, and I'll take the biggest one of them. You know what? They may beat me up too, but I'm going to hurt them, right? They're not just going to beat me. I'm going to beat them too. And the thing is that if they can do that and they can make the conservatives the party of old, angry men that are white with gray hair, they've won. That's it. They won, period.
We're having a conversation with Bill Glynn, author of, it's about the midterm election, stupid. Excuse me. We had Phyllis Schlafly on the other day, and we were talking about whether or not the Republican Party should go after, explain the message more to the minority community. And, she had some interesting perspectives on the Hispanic community, thinking that, maybe too many of them are too liberal at this stage of the game. But she was saying that our emphasis should be more towards the African-American community because they still share the values that conservatives do. Do you feel we should make that push towards the minority community?
Well, let me put it this way. Deneen Borelli, who I'm sure you've seen on Fox News, and I banter back and forth, and I've known her for a couple of years. And she is now the minority outreach person for FreedomWorks, arguably the largest Tea Party-type organization out there. So she is a black person. And I don't say African-American because I don't know if one of the people are from Jamaica or somewhere else either. You know what I'm saying? I don't think they're all, African-American. But the fact is that, hey, I got a lot of people I know that are conservative, that are Latino, that are black, that are, Oriental or whatever you want to call them. The fact is that we have to reach out to the blocks that share conservative values, and that right now isn't the largely dependent people on the government for unearned benefits. Right? It's unearned benefits, and that happens to be part of the permanent social underclass here, and a lot of that happens to be African American. So are they going to vote for Republican? No, they've already been indoctrinated into the liberal party. Do Latinos believe in God? Yes. Do Latinos believe in strong family? Yes. Do Latinos believe in working hard and trying to create business, educate their children? Yes. Well, the fact is, you know what? Then you're a conservative.
Right.
You're already there.
Exactly. Yeah. We've got a little over 2 minutes left, Bill, unfortunately. I need to have you back for the full hour. We've got to have you back. But two things I want to cover in the next 2 minutes. One is your website. Give people your website again because I think the information is too important to not give up.
There's BillyG.net, but really we're trying to pull people into Take Back the USA. And 2 weeks, like I said, it'll be, all the country and Christian firepower we've got will, be more reflective of where we're taking that whole thing.
Okay, good. And we've got about a minute and 45 seconds left. I want to talk to you a little bit about the article you did prior to this one on Ryan to the Rescue. And you seem to like Bowles Simpson. You think that's a good way for us to go? We should take the recommendations of the committee? Why?
Absolutely. Well, it's better than anything else and more politically acceptable than anything else. I don't think there should be any income tax, any corporate tax, any dividends or capital gains.
You don't think there should be no
of dollars
corporate
will fall into this country.
There should be no corporate tax at all?
No, because I think this: if we're the most competitive tax nation on earth, then trillions of dollars of money would pour into this country to set up shop here, create jobs, be invested in our financial markets. Now, you can do that over a period of 5 years, and 70% of our economy is consumption. Tax that. But at least Bowles Simpson brings our rates down to 20%, which puts us pretty competitively with the rest of the world in taxation. Right now, it's so vile to do business, right? We're the second highest tax nation on earth. No one wants to do business here.
Right.
That's a fact.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Anyway, it's better than nothing.
Okay, so you think that's a good idea. Then in the article you were talking about Paul Ryan, and you were saying his plan doesn't do anything about the national debt. It just reduces the budget, right?
Right, but they're saying everyone's messed up. It's deficit. That's the amount of money your company's losing every year. So we're losing $1 trillion+.
Right.
The debt is how much more money you got to borrow because your company is already bankrupt.
Right.
So if you want to take the deficit and close the gap, that's one thing. You've got to work out a mechanism to pay off the debt That is what's killing us.
Okay. We got to have you back. Got to have you back, Bill. Thank you so much for the time.
Thank you, too. I really appreciate it.
We'll be back in 167 hours on Taking Care of Business on Current Radio News Talk 1180.